Hey guys, how are you? I hope you're doing well. First things first, I'm feeling better today. I am not quite as sick as I was yesterday. I still think I'm going to make it a shorter stream just to be sure of things. Like, you know, I'm probably going to end I think I ended at 11 last time, so I might aim for that this time. I'm starting half an hour earlier than I did last time, so you at least get an extra half an hour with me. But I think ending a little bit earlier to try and get that extra rest is beneficial. I have run out of qotd though. I have taken all of my meds. I have none left. So hopefully that means that I will be getting better by the morning. We'll see. We'll see what that means. But yeah, how are you all? I hope you're doing well. I have also drunk all the water in my room, so I am gonna need to go get some more. Shit. Ah, well, it'll happen later. But how are you guys? I hope you're all doing well. Oh shit, I'm still down here. Fuck. Ah, shit. Oh, fuck. Oh, no. Oh, gosh. Oh, gee. Oh, no. Wait. There we are. Yes, how are you all? Yeah, someone did a hydrate earlier. I was going to see it. Hydrate. Shit. Oh, shit, there it goes. Oh, I bumped my head against the table. But how are you all? I hope you're doing good. I am excited for the weekend. I'm now a proper adult. I can't wait for the weekend when I get some time off. Which, we'll see how long that lasts for, of course. But I'm ready to take it easy for a couple of days. A couple of days where I can just not have to go anywhere and do anything. Let's put this cup away. No, as always, I say that I'm excited to try and get some stuff done in terms of content creation. Which I'm going to try and commit to actually doing this weekend. I want to try and do some tomorrow when I get home. I wanted to do some today, but I did not get to eat properly today. I have a lot of excuses, basically. What is it? Would you guys mind if we got distracted today? I know it's a bad thing to get from the rip, but it's going to be a shorter stream regardless. What if we did something I've been wanting to do for a while? Would you be interested in doing something a little bit out of left field? And also picking congratulations on being first, Raz on second, and Panda on third. Also, I saw you, Bovin. It's good to see you. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Yeah, distracted. We get distracted every day. Do our job for us. No. Having to eat and sleep annoyed me. Oh, yeah. No, I know what it's like having to maintain yourself. It's difficult sometimes. No. It's something that I've been wanting to do for a while. And it's maybe a little counterintuitive is the only thing I'm thinking here. Doing good, hope you're doing well. I'm recovering off a sickness, but I am doing well, thank you, Bovin. I hope you're doing well. Has anybody heard of a quote-unquote game called The Beginner's Guide? Have any of you heard of that? There it is. Anyone? No? Nope. What if I told you it is a game made by the creator of the Stanley Parable? Does that kind of tell you the way that we're going? Is it related to the Hitchhiker's Guide? No, not the slightest. I'll tell you about the, hey Don, hey, how are you, mate? Okay, you were here a while ago, my bad. How are you? To give you the description on Steam, it says The Beginner's Guide is a narrative video game from Davey Reedon, the creator of the Stanley Parable. It lasts about an hour and a half and has no traditional mechanics, no goals or objectives. Instead, it tells the story of a person struggling to deal with something they do not understand. I've heard, and this is something that I kind of want to do myself, but some people are saying it's very experimental. It gives you here's some reviews. Roller coaster of emotions. Self-reflect, sadness, acceptance. Why did it take me so long to start playing this? Was it supposed to happen now? I love it when indie games get experimental like this. Davey Reed knows how to cook. Warning, this game will hurt, give you an existential crisis, fill you with dread, make you emotional, and perhaps make you a bit hopeful. You'll also more than likely appreciate video games as more of an artistic medium than simply entertainment after this. Stuff like that. I play games to escape my life, not to live it again. Well, I mean, that's fair. Some people are saying, like, and this is what I kind of hope for me. Some people say that it is something that gave them a different perspective, or at least made them think about things in a certain way, and kind of push them towards doing their own creative endeavors. So, like, I want that for me, but my question is, would that be better done by myself and not on stream? What do you guys think? I feel a better time would be to see you and Braga battle at Mario Kart World. I do have the game now. I haven't played much of it, but I do have Mario Kart World now. We'll do that later. I know we can't do it this Friday because we're going to be hanging out on Panda stream for her 1K followers celebration. I don't know how long I'll be there for, but I will be there for a while at least. I had a rumor the other day, you see. A rumor? A rumor about what? Something in Mario Kart World. A rumor about what? But yeah, it's like, Sunday potential Mario Kart World creator tourney. Right, I haven't signed up for that. Maybe I should. Maybe it'd be a good idea. It'd probably be a good idea, let's be honest. But, yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at the moment, is that, like, would it be worth trying to do that now? It's going to be an hour and a half. I do intend on doing a short stream today anyway because I want to make sure I'm better. So would having an existential crisis now and today be something good for us? To be honest, I've gone through many existential crises already. One more ain't gonna hurt. Cozy, would it help if I told you that in the Steam tags of is this game relevant to you, similar to games you've played, the Stanley Parable, fair enough, made by the same person. Mouthwashing. Less expected. You know, it's $14. I don't know how long it'd take to download. I mean, why not? It's a Wednesday. Let's do something. Let's do something crazy. Are you guys all? Are you all consenting to this idea? Are you all okay if I go a little bit, like, unexpected change? Should we be concerned? Yes. Yes, you should be. We should always be concerned at all points. All right, it's only going to take like 5 minutes to download. How big is this? About 1.5 gigs. So a while. But no, this is something I've wanted to do for a while. And I'm like, why not capitalize on the opportunity, right? Right? Well, I'm already in a moment where I'm feeling like I want to do more and get more out of my life. Why not take this opportunity to do something together? Like, granted, yes, some people say a spiritual journey, quote unquote, should be a solo endeavor, something that you embark on by yourself and then share with the people around you. But is this not sharing in the same way? Is it? Maybe? I know one thing I have to do, I have to puppeteer more. I gotta move around a bit more. I also have found, well, not found, but remembered, I do have an old PC in another room. I could try and get a dual PC setup working again, especially since there are certain games that don't work so well with my computer with streaming and whatnot. So that could be something worth doing as well. That'd be like this weekend. Especially if I'm intending on getting something like VR. It would just mean that I'd be using that other computer most of the time. Kind of thing. I mean, Mouthwash was a fun time. It was at least a very different thing to look at. But keep in mind, like, this game does have negative reviews as well, so of course not everybody enjoyed it. It's not like a universal success. Same with Wonderstop. Wonderstop is also a game by Davey Reed, and I do want to check out. But you know, like, it's a game that has open-ended questions, or I'm sure it's a game that has open-ended questions that makes you think. And in that way, I've had people tell me this before and I've agreed to it and never actually set a time for it. I think it'd be a good idea to play Undertale. I have the game. I have Undertale. I've never played it. I've never actually watched a full playthrough of Undertale either. I have seen... I do know that there's the 3 routes. I know that that Flowey's a dickhead, and I know that Sans is the big final boss of the big bad route. Only if you choose to be an arsehole. I can't promise I'd go through all the routes, I'll be honest. But it'd probably be worth playing, right? Especially with Deltarune out now. Which is like, not really Undertale 2, but kind of. Such a delightful time. Isn't that like the direct opposite of what they say? It's gonna be a terrible time. And I know there's like the gay robot. What's his name? Mettaton? Well, maybe he's not gay, but he's definitely flamboyant. And yeah, like Undertale is like canonically a dream or something in Deltarune, right? I don't know which ending is real, but they are. But people love the game. So I should really give it a go at some point. All right, let's change the stream title. The Beginner's Guide. And change the stream title as well. No, actually, no, the title still works. I see the grand scheme. I don't know what's happening. That still works. Despite everything, it's still you. See, I know that quote. I know it's usually said when you're in front of a mirror. I don't understand the importance of it yet because I haven't played the game. It sounds like a very important, significant kind of title, like a phrase, but I don't know the context. Undertale and Deltarune are different universes, but they're linked. I know that they're linked somehow. I don't know how. Don't tell me how, because maybe I'll find out one day. But I know that there's a link between them in some way. No context or spoiler. All I know is just look in the mirror. I feel like it's like towards the end of the game after everything happens, or like once you're doing the genocide route or something. I don't know. I know that apparently the game's coded like a goddamn nightmare. It's just horrible. Despite that, it still works very well. And it's a thing of like, if you actually play the game, what is it? If you do the genocide route before the pacifist route, the game won't let you forget that you did genocide first. I know it does that. It's pretty cool. Anyway, let me get this working first. Make sure that the game is going to capture and all that stuff first. Ooh. Alright, where is it? Is it that one? Edge Game Assist? It must be. No, it's closed itself. The game has closed itself. Oh no. Wait. Oh, that's interesting. So it's like Slay the Princess? I guess so? Hold on, let me let the game run for a little bit before I try tabbing out. Video. Resolution 1920 by 1080. Whoop, there it is. Not full screen, but windowed. Okay, apply. Okay. So yeah, I don't know if this is going to have any sort of impact upon anyone. I don't know if it's even going to have an impact on me, especially since we're doing it in a streaming setting. But at the very least, it will let us talk about it. And that's something that I do value from streaming, is that we can at least sit down and have a conversation about all the shit that went on afterwards. That was something I very much enjoyed about mouthwashing. Apparently, I think I may have missed some of the point of mouthwashing, going off of a lot of other people's reviews of it. I viewed Jimmy as someone trying to do the right thing in all the wrong ways, and everybody else said, like, no, he's an irredeemable piece of shit. And I'm like, I'm not disagreeing on that. I just have the, well, I think everybody does have the distinct belief that he thought he was doing the right thing. Some people don't think that, though, that's for sure. The point was Jimmy wasn't saying, oh yeah, no, he was horrible. Hey, Sans, hey, you've been busy, huh? So I got a question for you. Do you even think that the worst person can change? That everybody can be a good person if they just try? That's even relevant to what was going on in mouthwashing, which is very interesting. Well, from my perspective. Anyway. Okay. Game. Oh, there it is. All right, can you hear it? I hope you can hear it. It should be going. Not now at the moment. I just need to shift myself a little bit, sorry. I don't know where I can be without causing trouble, so I'm going to put myself here. I'm going to fold in my wings. It's a beautiful day outside. I know that one. It's a beautiful day outside. Birds are singing, flowers are blooming, and on days like these, kids like you should be burning in hell. Which is a very powerful saying, I think, because the kid's horrible. Alright, there's a chapter like intro from October 2008. Alright guys, I'm going to turn off a couple lights so I can get some like mood lighting in here. Because, again, this is, admittedly, this is me being selfish. I'm playing this game for me ultimately, and then I'm sharing it with you. So I may not look at the chat too often. Oh, you know what? Let me put a message in there. I'm trying to be immersed, so I may not look at chat often. Whoops. 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 I am sorry. Sad face. And then we pin it somehow. Somehow. How do I pin it? How do I pin it? Hold on. How do I pin it? There we go. Pin the message and manually unpin it later. There we go. All right. So again, I'm being selfish. Let's see how this goes. I will probably end the stream after it because again, it's just a short stream, so I can try and get not sick later. All right. All right. Let's go. Begin the game. Make sure audio's on. I can hear. I'm actually going to turn my audio up, though. Controls that. Yep.
Hi there. Thank
Hello.
you very much for playing the Beginner's Guide.
Oh, good.
My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011.
Okay.
We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named qotd. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met qotd in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike.
Hey.
You can walk around here, by the way. And mostly it's just qotd learning the basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level.
Yeah, like those ones. There's a blob there.
It destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder,
Fair perspective.
what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all of qotd's games.
Oh.
I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So, it's 2008, Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever.
Oh,
and I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, you know, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since.
Oh.
And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again. And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveywreden@gmail.com.
I think it's a real email address.
Introduction. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game. As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
2008. Wow. I am able to pause. Okay, cool. Hey, 24, how are you? I hope you're doing well. How are you going today? Twitch crashing rules my most experience. Oh, no. I'm sorry to hear it. Oh, that was both my wrists. How are you going today, mate? We're going through a bit of a narrative experience today because I'm being selfish and playing something that I've been wanting to try for a while to, I don't know, to try and look at things differently, you know? Have you heard of this game at all before? Ooh, what's this one? Whisper machine. Oh, I have a gun.
This game is called Escape from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
Oh. So he just made a bunch of games for no reason and put them out there. Well, didn't actually put them out there, no. Doing pretty good, trying to get my energy back, dealing with step siblings is a piece of work. Ooh. Unfortunately, I don't have any, but hey, they're still family, technically, so I'm sure you'll work it out, hopefully. Ah! That was my gun. Oh, God. Never heard of it. Seems very cool, though. I'm gonna give you a brief rundown about what this is about before we go on, 2-4. Basically, this is a game about one person's kind of struggle through game development and I guess the things that inspire them. So this one person has taken a bunch of games that a friend made and never released. They just made them for the sake of making them and put them into this compilation as kind of, excuse me, talking about his view about how they are. It's, you know, it's an indie game. It's an experimental piece. There's a real email. Well, from the sounds of it, he wants to hear your interpretation of some of these games, and I am only willing to bet he would still be willing to hear from people. It's very nice. Yeah, I've heard a good handful of people say that this was something that definitely helped them get some inspiration and like motivation to start doing things. So Davey Reeden is the guy himself. His brother is Doug. If anybody knows Doug, the content creator, Doug. And Doug recommends his brother's games all the time. And Doug is one of my favorite creators, so I'm like, I should check it out, you know? Thank you for the hydrate, Cozy. So yeah, so it is going to be a bit more kind of chill, low-key today because we're going to be trying to immerse ourselves within the experience, I guess. If that makes sense. There's the exit! Let us out! Oh. A door opens, but I can't go in? Okay, never mind.
It kind of looks like this game was abandoned mid-development.
Yeah, it looks like it.
You have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere.
Oh, I can't.
Clearly, there are no enemies anywhere.
I can't reload.
You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets.
Just found that out. Thank you.
But ultimately, we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Okay. I mean, that's fair.
I love how you can see the bottom of the universe. universe from this room.
There's a bottom of the universe there. It's making you panic? Well, that's the thing. Like, it doesn't take much to give you, like, a sense of urgency in things. But it is the same PNG texture on all four walls of the skybox. That's great. If anything, seeing an incomplete game really does just kind of show you how simple it can be to make a game. And how it doesn't need to be anything fancy or crazy. Hello? Oh, there's a lot of hallways that go... Oh, wait, does that one go somewhere?
The space station has a labyrinth on it.
It does.
Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
No, I want to explore the... Oh, I want to explore the labyrinth. Okay, fine.
There's too many thoughts and not enough brain
This is the
power.
part that's interesting.
And go.
Exactly,
It has
Don.
this narrative about the whisper machine and how it
Yes.
has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Yes. That's the whisper machine.
Hey, you there, in the engine room. You could save us all.
Okay.
That beam is powering a whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body could stop the beam. It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it?
There's a lot
Would
to
you leave
ask.
yourself?
I mean... I guess so. Oh. And you're dead.
Pause here for a second. What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what qotd had initially intended when he was developing this level.
Yes.
But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
Wait, you respawn? Oh no, this is what happens instead. Hold on. Oh. Oh. You just start going up? Okay. Oh, this
The
gives
beam
a...
causes you to start floating.
It gives a very different
And this
feeling.
is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but qotd identifies something human about it. Like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So
Oh.
he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
You died and went to heaven? Well, exactly. That's what he's saying. Like, that's kind of the point, is that there's a very distinct difference between the character just falling over dead and just suddenly rising. It did give a very different feeling. There was, for me, initial shock of like, oh, what's happening? And then as you continue on, you're like, oh, you know, there is a higher power at play, hence I'm rising up, whatever it is. And so I guess he chose to keep going down this path.
Yep. In this game, you can only walk backwards.
Oh. Oh, okay. The past was behind her. This is interesting. Oh. Only back. I can't even use left or right. It's only backwards. Ah.
So
Future-
it's a short and relatively minimalist experiment combining motion and narrative.
Oh.
It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete.
Oh,
qotd
that's
is trying
cool.
to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
No, I actually like that. That's cool. It's one of those things that things change as soon as you go past them. Ooh. Hey, Brad. How are you? I hope you're doing well. How you going? I can see this is a horror game. Yeah, like your knees are broken. You can only go backwards. But I like that. So like as you're looking at... Because you can't see what's happening ahead of you. So you have to go backwards all the time. When she stops and looks, it becomes clearer. So guess... So that's what they must be like with... Or whatever sound the bald eagles make. Hey, Raz! Happy sub-anniversary, 23 months, let's go! Well, thank you. Thank you very much for the sub. How are you going today? I hope you're doing well. Well, you got you a second. You've been here the whole time. But, like, Hey, 23 months. I appreciate it. I really do. What in the Windows 98 screensaver? So this game is basically like a tech demo of someone else's creations for the 2008 to 2011 for the 3 years that they made games. They were never anything big or fancy, but they were kind of little experiments and whatnot. So that's what this is. High train, if you want. I know I can't stop you. And so in like this particular one, the future is always behind her.
Invented by the Jedi.
Thank you, Don, for 15 bits. I appreciate it. How will she find the strength? Oh, to confront it.
It's a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that.
Yeah.
Which to me
invented by
is
the
why it
Jedi.
works, because it gets out quick.
Thank you for the 50
Okay,
bits as well.
next
I
one.
appreciate it. Oh, so this is still within the same month? Ooh. Oh. I cannot go very far left and right. I can still jump though. Oh, this is spooky. You are now entering the Bone Zone. Maybe? Wait, I'm entering where? Where's the other sign? Oh.
And that's it. Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games,
Okay.
and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
Okay. Is it the anticipation?
Oftentimes, Coda would put bizarre titles like this one at the start of his games.
Nonsense in nearly every direction. Oh.
I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, like, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do?
Hit. Oh, they're just flat barriers. I can't jump on top of that. This makes me think of Arctic Eggs. Arctic Eggs was a lot more fleshed out than this, but the general aesthetic of giant buildings and catwalkways, that makes me think of that. Gonna steal your bones? No! Is that what the Bone Zone is? No, I thought it was just about sex. No, they steal your bones in the Bone Zone?
Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens.
Wait.
So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
Okay. So there's something up there that you could work for and earn toward and like work towards, but you're at a snail's pace. Because I did notice I was slowing down. Yeah, patient. We'll just press enter. I mean, like, yeah, because he's modified it. Strawberry moon tonight. What's a strawberry moon? Oh, there is actually stuff up here. Stands on an X staring at a bed for 3 hours. You run a shop inside your body selling your organs. What the fuck? You start in a small room until you realize you can walk through the walls. You are a gate. A button you press to stop the chaos that doesn't work.
That's warm.
Press U to surrender.
Nice, and filled with little ideas for games.
Oh! These are just ideas for other games you could do. Like some weird stuff.
Coda would often tell me that he didn't mind if people thought of him as cold or distant. He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person, but that it takes time to really see that. It can be a very slow climb to get there.
Huh. Yeah, I get that's true, I guess. You know. Sometimes it takes a while just to get to those sorts of things. Ooh, that one sentence hit me harder than I expected already. Hello? It's like a blood moon, but really low on the horizon. It's the lowest full moon in a decade. Oh. Wait, is that tonight? Hold on a sec. I'm gonna go take a look at the moon. Hold on. I'm gonna go look at the moon. Give me a sec. Yeah, no, that's a pretty bright, pretty close full moon. I mean, I don't know how close it is comparatively to all the other times the moon's been about, but it is very clear. It looks like it's moving because the clouds are going around. It gets its biggest at 3 a.m. I will not be awake by then. Yeah. And strawberry picking starts this week in Norway. Oh, so it's like a sign of the times. Interesting. Alright, this way, I guess. Ooh.
Well, this is new for Coda. It's
Yeah.
an actual puzzle.
Oh
Go
my.
ahead and see if you can solve it.
Well, there's a door there, so I'm going to make the assumption I have to...
Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon. We're
Okay.
going to see it a lot.
Look at the sun. No, not the sun, it's a trap. The lever was on the other side of the door. Yep. Hello? Hello?
So that seems to be it, right?
Yeah.
You walk down a corridor, you solve a puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough.
Yes.
All right, now I'm going to modify the game again so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
From this room. I didn't hit enter, but I just clicked. I just left mouse clicked. That's a lot of stuff.
How about that? There was
Oh.
more to it than we had any way of knowing.
Oh my god.
I actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game since they essentially convey the opposite idea.
Holy
So,
shit.
In the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world. Either way, I think that the point is the same, is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
Man, I can barely hear you over the music. Oh. Your goal is not to understand them, really, what is it? That's something interesting to consider. Hey Panda, how are you? I hope you're doing well. Yeah, no, we're trying to get motivation today. It's starting to remind me a little of Portal, just a little bit. So we're back onto the path. So now you are now exiting.
Aha. So this, combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow.
Oh.
It could even be that the Stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
Okay. So the different game, yeah, they convey one whole narrative experience. The Great and Lovely Descent. Oh, look at that house. No. Sorry, not well, but doing the Loki like to prepare for lunch and work tomorrow. All good. Make sure you take care of yourself, eh? I will again be ending stream at an earlier time to make sure I get the rest, so I'll hopefully be good by tomorrow. When outside, moon is white, no strawberry milk moon here. Ah, what a shame. Oh, why is this a slope?
Let's
Hello.
talk about video game development for a second.
Okay, cool.
Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do.
Yes.
So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development.
Yes. Streetwise Fool.
To make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source. Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well.
The limitations of the engine. That's why Unity now is a predator standard, and people have different things for that.
What kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
Yeah. I wonder if he positioned these all freehand or not. Oh, I think I was supposed to jump down like a path. Whoops. I mean, not that you need to. Yeah, everything is very segmented though. Oh, I missed. We're good. There's no fall damage. Ooh, what's this? Like a glass cylinder in the center? It is. What's that? Okay, it's like a light. I can't touch it. What? Hello? Okay, this is like a cattle fence. What the hell is that noise? Oh, great. Oh, great. I don't like this. I definitely feel like this is what they do to cattle. I'm being forced into a fucking... Great, I'm now trapped here. I'm stuck. I'm like a cow. Oh. Oh, okay. Or is this more of a prison situation? Yeah, no.
This prison,
yeah.
Funny enough, in Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go.
An hour?
If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that.
Thank you, but like, that's an actual part of the game? Part of the game?
Something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else. Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere. There wasn't.
Interesting. Hey, Wolfie, how are you, mate? Hope you're doing well. Like chickens to the slaughter? No. I was just following instructions, alright? There's a cell right next to him with your name on it. There's a cell there for every single one of us. We can all go to horny jail together. Oh, we're outside. These 3 dots again, are they significant? I can crouch! Oh, I can crouch! Ooh. I'm innocent. No, you're not. None of us are.
It's a puzzle again, with the exact same solution as the last time.
Oh.
There's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
Okay. It's very interesting. Well, those are the glow. The glow what? Bring all the goodness together in a closed space together. Or suddenly punishment not working in their favor. See, we're not being put there together. We're being put there separately next to each other. Hello. You there? Did you come from up above?
Here, Coda begins using a kind of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities.
Oh.
Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
There was an enormous prison I spent hours in. That's the one above. You've been there. Now, this is important. Did you have to get through a puzzle with 2 doors and switches? I did. It was literally the last thing. I don't remember having to go through any puzzle. I prefer not to tell you. It was literally the last thing. Again, perfect. Now, please tell us how you solved it. Tell us the solution. Tell us how to get to the other side. I don't remember how. I didn't solve it. Trust me, you don't want to go there. I'm trying to remember, but I can't. You must think harder, please. Try hard to remember. It is so important that we get out of here. You must escape this. We must have escaped this prison. Can you think harder? There must be something more. Please tell us how to reach the end. The end of what? Oh, this is the same room. How'd you get there? Was there a puzzle you had to go? Yes, you want to know how to solve it? We actually find the blank space between the doors to be far more interesting. Have you seen it yet? The black space. Yes, where it's like very dark. The end of your zipper. What? I know you mentioned it. I remember feeling strange that I passed through it. Don't think too hard about it. You'll see it again soon. This room is slightly different.
And so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
Very, very far descent. Oh, hello. Oh, it's apartment buildings.
It's a lamppost.
Oh, the lamppost.
I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason, Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out.
Oh.
I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, you know, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something. He wants a destination.
Like a moth to a flame?
Which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination.
Yeah.
We're going to see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
Okay. So going from one unfinished game to another? Kind of. So, he said that there's this one guy called Coda who was making games starting 2008, or making levels. He made a level for Counter-Strike, and then he started making games. Very short games, very weird games. And yeah, they're all just kind of like expressions of art, I guess you would say. Because every game has a certain like message it's trying to convey for, on all kinds of things, and none of them seem to be pointless. A lot of them seem to be difficult to do, but none of them are pointless. Hey Ben, how are you? I hope you're doing well. The switch puzzle is a good way to funnel into a stage loading mechanism. That's very true. So like the very first one he made was just like a weird looking stage of Counter-Strike. The second one he made was the one in space where you had a gun, but there was supposed to be a part in the game where you threw, you saw it, you threw yourself into a reactor to stop it, to save everyone. But there was a glitch where you started rising instead of just dying. And then that seemed to set off a chain reaction of just like, I want to experience things, I guess. Because then you had the backwards walking game and you've got this one. Like, it definitely feels more like an expression of art. And I wouldn't call these unfinished. More that he was happy with the way that they came out before he finished them. You know? He finished them earlier than he expected. Does that make sense? That's what it feels more like. Or maybe they are fully complete things. This game's connected to the internet. As you walk around, you can leave notes. All notes you see are left by other players. Is that real, or is that part of the actual thing? Is that part of the beginner's guide? There'd be a lot more notes here if that was the case. Nice room, not? Well, yeah. It does make some sense, I guess.
So first
Yeah.
off, I'm sure you can deduce this, but this game is not connected to the internet.
Oh.
All of the notes that you're gonna see have been written by qotd.
Okay.
This was actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up.
That's a
I saw
lot.
him working on this very level, and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person. In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy trying to get his attention. I was over enthusiastic, but he was very gracious about it and very patient with me. And I cooled off eventually.
Hey, that's what friendship should be like, right? Hello, they turn white if you read them. Am I going to be able to read all of these?
Feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all of them.
Oh, but I want to
Either
read them all.
way, to me, they convey a sense of loneliness. I see this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played.
That's actually a good point. These are all the voices of one person.
But it's ironic, isn't it? That in playing this game and seeing how alone qotd often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him. And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work. I think this is why I always liked qotd's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection. I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too.
Oh, wow, that's a long one. I just saw a flying penguin. Let me tell you, it was the most majestic thing I've ever seen. I don't feel like living because nothing will ever be as majestic as that. I never want to see again if nothing will ever be that beautiful again. I'm crying now and plan on ripping my eyes out. I must go now to do that. Oh. Okay. So these are just like, you know, basically little thoughts he had while making the game. Or at least thoughts he had of how people would react to it, I guess? It is a very Halo-ass level, that's very true. Boring. I can assure you, guaranteed there is an acorn somewhere here in this place and the sailors are looking for it. The sailors! There's just so many of them, though. Hey guys, I was looking for someone to talk with. Oh, mate, I can relate to that. So, if we were to not go down the path that we're supposed to go, and for example, run off here, are we able to read these messages? No, he's blocked off the path. We can't actually go read those messages. But I guess, like, in theory, that like in the original copy, I guess, the one that's not edited for this game, those were all actual mementos that he wrote. I refuse to believe. You found something better than balls. Butt-ass butt. I need to go to the freaking bathroom. See, it's the little ones like this that are interesting. Like, why have some messages be little jokes and some of them be cries for help? Why not? Again, this is a game that was not meant to be played, was it not? So it is, in a slight way, like a diary entry. There's nothing here, go back. Don't listen to that guy. Deeply introspective butt-ass butts, I know. A free t-shirt. Need other side door, why you so... Next game includes door, cannot open door, thanks. Open sesame, that's an Elden Ring-like thing. Door, how open? Someday I will meet the person who made this. Talking about yourself? I help people because of the internal good feeling I get. Oh. New room! Do you hear the chimes? They keep you going, don't they? I would like this very much to be desired. Ugh. Yeah, me too, mate. Welcome, congratulations. I don't really know where to go with this. You can go in here, I think. Ah, don't bother. It's not very crowded. Scared of writing something, don't want to feel judged. Oh. That's just the sense of you get when trying to make anything. Anything you make can be scrutinized, so you don't want to be judged for the things that you create, so you end up not making them. Which is where I'm at the moment. Again, when you leave notes and suddenly everyone's a poet. This is where I get off. I failed to write anything here. I'm compelled. We should be getting ads in a moment as well. Given the nature of this game, I am going to pause during the ads, I promise. Because I want you guys to be able to see this. Stop, turn back. Proceeding further will only result in misery. Take my hand, let's jump together. Oh, I can't make it. I wonder if there was ever supposed to be a way to... Oh, again, like in the original version, maybe. Cabbage shapes our nation. What is that painting? Well, I'm gonna guess they're the blue dots. Like what these all are. Receding further will only result in misery, me watching BoJack Horseman. I hear this is a very sad show. At times. Does not matter if you ever get over there. Hey, don't talk about me that way. Very good game. And there's the ads. Oh. So let me just do that. I'm gonna leave you with this background music and I'm gonna run and grab more water. So I will be right back. I'm gonna hop off. Hey, I'll be right back. I'll be back, guys. Don't worry. Oh shit, I left my headphones. They're on the ground now. Bye, Bill. You behave? Were you behaving, children? I've acquired more H2O. Alright. Sorry about that, guys. More water was important, though. I'm looking at the ground. I am. I didn't even give you anything fun to look at. Right, yeah. Okay. Just pondering my orbs. Are they well pondered? Please tell me you're taking care of them. Are you feeding them properly? Oh. Okay. I'm assuming you're talking about boobs, because it's plural. So, like, we're not beating the horny jail allegations. Okay. Where were we? The chamber. I think this is not going anywhere. Next time I will do better. I need someone to talk to. This is a note? It is. Good job. Don't listen to the other notes. You can't fall down the crack, that's good. That's for giving ambient lighting. I'm not safe. What's this place? Say I learned you cannot fall off. Ethical. I mean, I guess it would be. Well done to all of you. Whoever made this has issues. But again, that was written by the creator. So was that a little jab at yourself or like an actual venting of a problem? Minor spelling mistake. Painting, what does it mean? Stop faking it. See, like this one. It feels so out of place with the rest of it. I can't help but think it's an actual thought of the creator. Art. How's it going? Just hanging? I'm trying to speak. I think about how things look messy from up close and perfect from far away. From here it looks like just dots. I mean, it is it not? Cabbage shapes our nation. That's the second time someone said that. Spoilers, it doesn't mean anything. Stop pretending you are other people. Ah. I mean, yeah. We will all die someday. I'm sure we will. I'm sure we will. Who are all of you? I saw a person walking down there, now it won't come back. And then you try to see if there is. Devil Tower Star? It's about how this game is pretentious and you all suck. That's me, that's my message, I wrote that. Devil Tower Star, again. He was himself the most horrible creature he could imagine. That's harsh. Please don't be talking about yourself. Maybe I'll feel real someday. Well, I'm here now. Yeah, we're all here now. Maybe I will feel real someday. There must be a reason for it, though. His terrible secret, he kept it well. I beat the game. By coming down to this room, there's so many messages.
At the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means. Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one.
I mean, I guess that makes sense. In like a very specific way.
After exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on.
Okay.
And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause. Just for a moment, a few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step back and connect the pieces together. To grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
So this is the moment in which you reflect, I guess, before moving on. And not many other people have made it here. That's typewriters. I thought that was something worse. Leave notes. If you give enough monkeys a typewriter, they'll eventually write Shakespeare. Are you there? Please say something. Wait, hold on. Let me quickly... You can't see where the text is popping up. I'm going to put myself this way, because there is text in the bottom left, which is a little important. Speak, 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 speak. Ooh. I can't speak, though. I have no mouth yet. I must scream. Okay.
This one is tough. It's going to kind of just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
Let me put myself just a bit more over here, because there is text that appears in this corner as well. I take it back this way. More over this side. Put ourselves here. That's fine. So, porn stars must die too. Why is there a well over there of all places? Ooh. Futuristic. Some nice paintings, a nice wall. Look at that same corridor we just passed through. I have no mouth and I must scream is a great book. It's a book? I didn't know what it was from specifically.
So, this is it, the whole game. And there's nothing that's particularly interesting about it. You just walk to the end of a hallway.
Oh.
Except, for some reason, qotd gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
Oh, he took everything out though. What furniture ought to go in the center of the room? What a giant hole in the ground. That's a table. What about along the wall? I want a big picture of a horse. Okay, those aren't horses. And game series? Okay, the games might be more interesting to me. Oh, we should light the room. Skylight, 10 by 12 recessed electric 6-inch soft LED ceiling, lights with flash and trim. Tesla coils! Yeah! Oh. You need a table? You've given me one already. Tables were invented in 1935. Yeah, I guess. Oh.
There's a bit more to this one, but still, it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake.
A little bit. That's
okay, he throws it out and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
Hello, please walk forward. Okay. The guide will enable you to escape any prison environment. Follow the instructions carefully. Take a member of each thing. First, click on the table. Ah! Go to the photo frame and turn it slightly. Turn the floor lamp in this room off and then turn it back on. Floor lamp. Left side sofa. Move it over a little. Left side. And then touch the shelves. That's it. In a real prison, the escape will now open. Return to the start to be taken back to your prison. Okay. Return. So now I have to do that same stuff, but from the prison.
And of course, now the table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape.
Oh, great. Yeah, no, I can't.
Here's a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside.
What?
Let me just blink you real quick through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen of them.
In the well this time.
I think it's awful to watch this. To see a person basically unraveling through their work.
There's a
And
switch.
for what? Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on? But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop. That particular mechanism.
I remember this room.
Against yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going. And then he hits on something. And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
So he was like fixated on the idea of being trapped. Game, I believe they got the author of the book to voice AM, the AI who forms the humans in the book game. Ah, interesting. So he kept making different prisons. And then eventually he made a version that's like, what if the prison just wasn't there? Well, there's that the lamp again. And a phone booth? Oh. Oh, I don't like the fixed perspective. Hello? Who is this? Hey, it's me. I'm you from you after you escaped the prison. You're me? So you were trapped in this prison too? I was in the furniture maze, I was in the escape tutorial, I was in the reverse prison.
What Coda wants is to be able to talk to someone, to share what's on his mind, and to get some good advice from someone who knows. But the irony is that even in this scenario, you're still talking to yourself. You know, all of these games so far are Coda talking to himself.
Huh. Sometimes I'm scared I'll get out and then things will be exactly the same as before. Ooh, so he expresses his own fears and then tries to comfort himself. It does change. Hey, baby, how are you? I hope you're doing well. I'll take a hydrate in a second, sorry. Makes me feel really happy. It just kind of does that, you know? I'm still me, but I'm not somehow. Remember to enjoy being who you are right now, it won't last. Once again, let me put myself... I guess I will put myself over here then. If you're me, then you get a call from another version of you when you were trapped. I did get a call as how I escaped. What did they tell you? What did they do to have you get out? They asked me how it felt about being imprisoned. What? That freed you? How does that work? Just tell me how you feel. Feel afraid that nothing will ever change. Go on.
I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Oh, yeah, it would. Doing good has grand schemes.
So what would it look like if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself?
So far, very interesting. Take a hydrate real quick. Ugh. Well, thank you for the hydrate. Yeah, no, this is just like a little short collection of games that someone's made about a friend of theirs. And, I don't know, like a deconstruction of someone's psyche through the games that they've made.
To me, this environment is meant to represent Coda's puzzle, with the two doors on either side and a dark transitional space between.
I mean, I see the door up there. Oh god, these guys freak me out. Clean. Well, my goodness, I'm glad as all heck that you showed up. Thought I might be having to clean this entire house by myself, and right miserable that would have been. Everyone knows lonesome hands make lousy homes. Why is the text on the right now? Come on, man, keep your UI simple.
The quality of the art is a step up from previous games, including this new and improved chat system, which he started using from this point on. From here on out, he begins putting much more effort into the visual polish of his work, and this particular game took 2 months to create as a result.
Ah. Near the table. This is the table I want to see. Run to the bedroom and make the bed. I mean, this is just like domestic living. Living with a partner. It's like, oh, we'll straighten out the bed. Yep, all made. Straighten out the rug. Okay. The little details matter. I dreamt of doing this job. That I'm now doing. Friend dragged me a long time. I was particularly desperate for cash. Turns out I've never felt so good doing something for money in my whole life. Never did like clean my own home. Might have some demons I ain't ready to face yet. Speaking of demons, someone's put this couch in a mess. Straighten out the pillows, please. Sounds like a prison. Doing housework is a prison. I'm being repressed. Mop that up as long as you're there. Is this about feeling needed? Feel compelled to share an incredibly cheesy personal insight. You okay with that? Make it so cheesy. Oh, why not? No, it wasn't stupid. I want to hear it. Fine, I'll wash the fucking dishes, but you better tell me a cheesy story. Plus, I check the tub. Mate, this is your job. You're working here. There's still books scattered on the floor of the bedroom. Are there? They were scattered last I was here. Perfect. Clear dishes off
After the intense set of prison games, this house cleaning level almost feels like cleansing. It's the moment after a particularly difficult or traumatic experience where you just need to let it sit and digest inside of you.
That's true.
And eventually cohere into something meaningful.
Okay. We had the rug in the bedroom. Man, I've done that already.
I would have really liked this game. Of all of his work, actually, this was the only one that he called me up to ask me to come over and look at it. This was during a period of a few months where he was like grossly happy all the time. Just walked around with a constant smile on his face.
That's good. It occurs to me that one's house is a lot like one's soul. You take care of it and it takes care of you. Yeah, I need to take care of my house a bit better. Don't know why I felt so weird saying that. There's a bit of truth in it, no? Anyway, so housekeeping. Don't you dare tell me to do dishes again. Yeah, you're gonna tell me to do the books again. God damn it. Alright.
I'm glad he made this. I'm glad he found some peace.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's nice and peaceful. The music definitely helps. Question, do you enjoy
Of
this?
course, it can't last.
Oh.
The music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave. The door at the top of the hill is now open as well. Again, you can't stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving. It's how you stay alive.
Wait, was that supposed to be the dark space? Like the dark space, like representative of the dark space between the two doors? That's like the reset kind of thing, the door, the closing between the different chapters of the of his life. The lamp's back.
Which is the whole point of the puzzle doors, right? That sooner or later you have to pick up and move. I really thought that was the point of it.
But were you wrong? September. Items you love at members only prices. Why'd you come here today? I don't know. Was it to improve your life? Yes, technically. Was it to get a better job? Maybe. Was it to make your relationships more meaningful? No. You came here to become perfect. Oh, I'm somewhere else now. The workshop's going to teach you how to be perfect. I want your friends, the people in your life, to look at you and think, wow, this person is a better human being than I am. Right now, what would you think about that way in your own life? Who do you know that is so well developed as a person that they make you feel disgusted with yourself, compared to whom you feel useless, selfish, ungrateful? I intend to make you into that person. Perfection is within your grasp. Okay. And the question is not how we do it, but how we do it effortlessly. This is easy. It's so easy. It's so easy.
About halfway through the game, the perspective shifts.
Oh my god.
And you play as the teacher. And suddenly, you discover that your teacher is just as bigoted and afraid as you are. Oh, and also you can move around the classroom now.
On the way to work, I told an elderly person to start contributing to society. Kids should not be able to follow their dreams. This is the key how I achieve no effort. Oh, I can't say the other options. Let me tell you right now, this isn't effortless, but it's not the right answer. I still love you, it's just that you make me feel cold on the inside. I can't say the bad answers. Drinking is not hurting my life. Thank goodness all of you perceive me as being wise and intelligent. Oh, so that's his, like, other thoughts. Oh. If you're torturing yourself trying to find the right solutions to your life, you're not doing it right. Oh, wow, yeah. Do you understand what, that you won't be happy until you love me? This is for you. If I'm developing a cyst, gross. Seek out the only thing, what is the easiest, simplest path forward. Just kidding. What if I'm not a good teacher? Do what is easiest, what is simplest feels true. Holy shit, you guys, something's coming out the back of the room, look out! But he doesn't say it. It's coming for you, it's coming to destroy you!
I felt pretty hard for this one. I feel like it's one of the most relatable experiences that you can have. To assume that some other person is perfect and totally fulfilled in every way.
Oh, the lamp's here as well.
And completely miss all of the little flaws that make them painfully human. I think about this game a lot these days.
That's true. You never know exactly what's going through someone else's head. Or...
This one took a lot longer than all the others for qotd to make. It was 4 months between this and the last one. That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this, and it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember I found that a little strange at the time.
Hello? Hello? Oh, Jesus Christ. The performance is beginning. Places, please. In the scene, you'll be playing as me. All right. We're the gathering of professionals. It's very bright lights. First, you'll start leaning against this wall. Okay. Hey. How you going? I'm the coolest guy around. The woman across the room in this chair is a professional photographer of animals. It's your dream to photograph animals professionally. This is your one chance to learn something from her, to gain something, to succeed. Go on, say something to her. You want me to talk to a woman? Wait, do I have to talk to her while leaning against this wall? Do I want to approach her? Wait. Where's the bathroom? Strike up a conversation casually, you know? What are you doing? You're deflecting. You're not saying what's actually on your mind. Stop dancing around it and have a conversation with this person. Oh my god, okay. I like you. No, that's not what I said to her at all. You're completely missing the tone of the conversation. I was reserved, but I knew what I wanted. I was confident. For some reason, it was just that one moment, but I was confident. Maybe it's that you need a better feel of the setting. There's a lot of people around us. I'll give you some props to work with. These cones that bounce when you touch them will represent people nearby. What? Ah! Now talk to her again. Okay. I bet you learned to lean into the pain. What are some sacrifices you had to make? Oh! Bouncing off these makes music. Little dropping the bullet flirting. So I don't think I was even supposed to be flirting. You must have worked really hard to get where you were. You messing it up again? Am I? You'll freak her out if the conversation gets that personal that quickly. Do you not realize how important this is for me? I'll never get another opportunity like this again. Everything was riding on this. Oh. That's an anxiety thing, yeah. No matter what you say, everything's gonna go horribly. I've been there before. You just try to start a conversation and your brain just kind of goes like, well, no matter what you say, you're gonna look like we're in the prison again. Oh, I've been in prisons again. In a cage of my own mind. Yeah, double prison. This is working. This is what it was like.
This eerie premonition of what's going to happen next in Coda's life. The solution, social anxiety, to fears of having to perform and having to chase success, the answer for Coda is to withdraw, to hide himself away. Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago, where it just becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself. And to be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of just disconnecting yourself from the world. And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his games. Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with this person, to bring him closer. But what can you do? After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
5 months. Obsessed with prison. Mobius tripped. Play this game properly, you must keep your eyes closed. Alright, I'm gonna close my eyes, guys. I don't know what's happening. Am I supposed to go somewhere? I've got legit no clue what I could be doing. I think I've turned myself around. Okay, that's not part of the game. I know that. That. Ow. Ow. Ow.
You should probably realize if you haven't already. It's
Ow.
pretty much impossible to solve otherwise.
Okay, yeah.
There is a solution, by the way.
Oh. Oh, you cracked giant door. Help, I'm blind. So my eyes were closed. I didn't. Interesting. Tell me, someone please help me how to solve this. And then you crash into the door. Okay, so there is a way to solve it. Captain, what's going on? Research. The giant door, my vision went black. Activate the shields. Yes. Someone help me, someone do something. Find the shields. So they're both blind. So the idea is that everybody's blind except for, like, well, everyone. Oh, what's this? So you can only do this if you're not blind. So the only way to stop it is to speak something that is honest. Hold on. I saw an option there that I think was the right one. Speak something that is honest. I'm bursting with creative energy. That's not truthful. Oh, am I gonna... Am I gonna... Oh, I can't say multiple things in one run? I have to die before you let me try again? Oh, no. Okay, well, I feel like I know what the answer is then. That he can't keep doing this.
Alright, let me explain how you're supposed to do this.
Yeah,
On
yeah.
either side of the room are elevators,
Yeah.
which go up to an upper level.
I'm here, don't worry.
Go up, walk over to the person who's standing there,
Yep.
and then select dialogue option number 2.
Yep. Can't keep making these. That's it, that's the truth. Don't feel it
Like
anymore.
I said, I was getting concerned. First off, he's never been this explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking. So where's that coming from? But then even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like he's having trouble iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore. And in person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, you know how sometimes a person will just deflect anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that kind of thing.
Yep.
Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way. His games are going to get more desperate from here on out.
Oh, no.
After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
Oh, I don't know if I can do more desperate. Yeah, let me move myself back to this side because I'm not covering anything there, I don't think. Where am I? Oh. Where'd this island come from? Oh. Is that a person? How lovely. It's been a long time since I talked to anyone. Is that the tree? What's wrong? You look lost. Wow. When I try to create, I feel empty. Oh no. What happened? Did something change? There was a machine that kept me going and it stopped. I'm trying to find this engine that used to protect me to start again. Motivation, I guess. But you're looking for a machine. I think I know where it is. It isn't far. I need to see it to know why it stopped. I can take you to a...
The last game featured Coda talking explicitly about his creative frustrations. This one turns it up to 11. Now, put yourself in my shoes playing this. Here's a friend whose work is exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression, even. And yet, still, he keeps making games. He keeps throwing himself into the grinder even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore. Why? What is it for?
That was a very interesting last one because the first two options, it said like, we're gonna get to the end of this together. Deal? Your first two options were deal. The third one was, what does it matter if I agree because we're gonna be going there anyway, aren't we? And I hit 3, but he still just said deal. I'll show it to you.
Because from my perspective at the time and just what I knew of him, this was a result of how isolated he was. He was in his own little bubble, just sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games to anyone, not releasing them onto the internet, and so he didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on.
Now you close the first door. Nope, I hit the wrong button. Nope, never mind. Wrong button. Press that switch there. And that door opens.
You can't talk yourself out of loneliness. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
You can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no circulation. If all of your anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash.
Yeah, that makes sense. When I try to create, I feel empty. Where did this island come from? Where am I? I need to see to know. So these are the options that I chose. Aren't they? Here we are. It's just words on the walls. But they're my words. You have to say that your work is fun and easy. You have to say that in game development is simple and joyous and that you'll love it 100% of the time. Alright, making games is effortless. Oh! That feels wonderful. But it wasn't true. Don't worry about it, just keep talking. Keep saying that creation is easy. I feel make games, I feel completely energized. Yeah, so these are other dialogue options.
It looked really unhealthy to me. I was watching him do this to himself, and I hated it. I hated seeing him so trapped. It's like video games are not worth this amount of suffering. This is someone I really cared about. I used to get so much joy out of seeing him create. For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this, it was the worst thing for me. I don't know. This is what I felt at the time. I don't know how else to explain it. I wanted it to stop more than anything. I had never felt so rotten. I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop.
Huh. This looks familiar.
But it didn't stop. After finishing this one, qotd takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
That one wasn't exactly easy to sit through. I mean, hey, like, art should make you feel uncomfortable sometimes. But the whole thing of just, you know, in order to power through, in order to break through the walls, you have to lie to yourself. You have to lie to yourself that things are good, that things are fine, that things will get better, things were never wrong in the first place. That's something everyone can relate to. That's something that I think every human being has gone through before. That's, oh, that's a lot. Okay. The tortured artists. Not even just the tortured artist, but just, like, the tortured person. Like, don't get me wrong, this definitely applies more to the creatives than to anybody, but everyone's got that thing of, like, just get through it, you'll be fine. I said at the beginning of the stream, like, excuse me, I just have to get through the next couple of days and I get to the weekend when I get to take a break from work. It's the same thing on a different scale, where I'm maybe not lying to myself in that case, but I'm telling myself things that I've convinced myself are truth, whether it is or not, in order to be like a temporary band-aid, I guess you could say. It's rolling the boulder up the hill, yeah, the Sisyphus thing. Yeah. Man, I'm glad to see you've arrived safely. We've captured the machine, it's waiting for you now. We can begin the interrogation whenever you like. I intend to be brutal. Very good. Just be warned that someone called the press, so we might have a bit of attention on this one. Also, one more thing you should know about the machine, it calls itself qotd. Like the person who's making the games. That's the press. Oh god, all sorts of questions. Do you know where the poisonous gains have come from? Where's the machine from? None of these questions are important. It's all about the machine. The motivation. The reason,
And of course,
the drive.
it's the machine.
You stopped. Your work was keeping us alive. There's people out there. Can you imagine what you put them through? It's because of your creations that any of us can make it through every day. How could we go back to trusting you to do your job? No, this is a bad time to be falling apart. How about this for a start? You need to go to the people who are out there and apologize. You have to admit to people that you've allowed them to suffer. You've been so alone. Nothing? God damn it. Come on, man. Alright, I'll speak to them for you. I mean, like, it's very straightforward what this is trying to convey. My followers and my friends have a troubling revelation. The machine will not apologize. It refuses to admit that it deliberately hurt us. See, both of these things are like the thoughts that the person has. It's just which one do you say? It's not important. We are stronger than it thinks we are. We'll find a way to live without it. We do not need its games. I may not have the motivation, but I'll keep making things anyway. Maybe not the best idea. We'll destroy the machine, we'll destroy everything that machine has created. And we're back on the stage. I have the gun again? Why do I have the gun? Interesting. Coda, I'll make sure your work dies here. Oh, this is me destroying the work. Isn't what you've had scared of? Oh my god, having to deal with yourself. Having to live without your precious creations, having to deal with yourself.
Self-destructive.
Oh yeah, it is.
At the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that Code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his games. It might get him out of isolation. And so, as I'm thinking this, I realize that
Going back
I
through
could
all
be
the
one
games.
to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for him? If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral? Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work?
Is that what this whole game's about? Oh, not the special room with the ideas. Oh!
So I started showing Coda's work to people. I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games. You know, the point of it all was just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
Except the self, I guess. Hello, machine. Put down your weapon. I don't think I have a choice.
can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do? Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need, to be told that my work is good.
Yeah.
That I am good.
Yeah.
When someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better.
Yeah.
I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something... I really felt like I'd done something good, like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe I could fix the problem. When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling.
Yeah, for
It
you
made me
though.
feel so happy, so beautifully, beautifully happy.
Coda didn't see it that way.
So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while. So this is June of 2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower, and to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made. So let's take a look.
Oh no. The music doesn't really bode well.
And this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, the tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very cold game.
Oh, the source started so like jovial and happy.
This room actually has a maze in it.
Oh, whoa.
Except that all the walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise. So the experience is really miserable.
Yeah.
The game goes beyond not being meant to be played. It actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the level, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze.
Nope. Can I go the other way? I mean, I know I'm not gonna sort it out like this, but like, that's a big maze he made. Oh. Okay. Go left, and there's like 4 just on the side of here, and then... Hold on. I just want to get like a little bit into it. But again, like, you've got these invisible barriers that you keep running into. That's very much like a depression thing. You can't exactly tell why you're running into these walls. Just that it fucking hurts. Alright. Let's go over it. And again, that would have stopped a lot of people from going further.
And to be fair, it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end.
Okay.
That game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze?
Yeah, the pain, I can only guess. Oh, let's go gambling?
The only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code. Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me, because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me, except a lot of my time. If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move on.
So they really did. Oh, I got a little close. Hey, Sumi. How are you? I hope you're doing well. We are crying in the club right now, basically. Oh. So you joined the AUS Super server. I did. It's a little scary with so many people around, but, you know, I'm trying to be better.
The switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door, meaning that it's literally impossible to solve from this side. So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first 2 challenges and you got to this point, there's actually just no way to progress. And it's scary for me, the idea of qotd cutting himself off entirely, just saying, you know, that's it, that's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem. I feel like a failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem. But I can open this door for you, so let me do that.
I mean, yeah, when you come across, like, something that you can't really solve, it is frustrating. But why...
Was I a failure for not understanding this game? I mean, I don't know why I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why.
Yeah, I mean, like, everything's stacked against you in a way that it's incredibly hard to succeed. And that's how a lot of things feel sometimes. That you can't win. And not because...
Remember, it's June of 2011. I'm playing this for the very first time. And as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is. It wasn't the guy I knew. It wasn't my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them... I had been trying to, though. That was the thing. For years, I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for. I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean. And he wouldn't.
Yeah, I've seen the 3 dots at a couple of these different levels. So I don't get it. There must be a significance to it.
I just felt so strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy. It was that I needed to see myself in someone else. I needed to be someone other than me. But he stopped and left, and it felt somehow like I had failed. Where did I screw up?
Well, was it even a you thing? That's the thing. Oh.
I'm the reason that you stopped making games, aren't I? It's because of what I did.
Oh, no.
I poisoned it for you.
So because he showed the games to someone else, to other people? I guess, like... I mean, then the fact that you're showing these to us now is a problem, wouldn't it be? But, like... Shit. I mean, yeah, this person didn't ever want to distribute their games to anyone. And then Davey just kind of went off and did it anyway. That would be a breach of trust. Shit.
I don't think I ever told you this, but when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt... it felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable. And the people who played them, they treated me like I was important. They really listened and cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, I felt good about myself. Finally, for a moment, while I had that, I liked myself.
Ooh. Yep. I mean, if he wanted other people to see them, he would have done it himself, so... Changing my games. Stop adding lampposts to them. What? What do you mean changing? I'm a little confused how this person said, like, don't show the game. Is this not... Is this not like a separate person?
And then you stopped, and I didn't have anything left to show people. I just had to be with myself. And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling at all. Nothing. Less than nothing.
You could
What
have
does that mean?
I'm not sure. Like, the lampposts are things that were actually added into the game. Like, here's the thing. I'm trying to find a reason to this. I'm trying to, like, this may not be a thing that needs to be reasoned. This is something that should just be taken at face value. I think they're saying, like, would you stop changing my games? Like, the changes that Davey would make would be to stop adding lampposts to them. Lampposts always led to an enter and exit. They were the things at the end, yeah. Showing, like, this is where the end is. Oh. I'm around you, I feel physically ill. You desperately need something that I cannot give it to you. I literally do not have it. Yeah, so... At some point, Davey said that they started feeling gratification from showing this game to other people. So... They then needed to... I forget the name of the person now. They then needed to make these games to give to Davey to show to other people, and that tainted the experience for them, and they just stopped enjoying it. Coda, that's the one. Struggling to come up with new ideas is not making me depressed. Low points are just a part of the process. The fact that you think I'm frustrated or broken says more about you than me. Oh. Well, yeah, because he was saying, like, you know, he's seeing these games and seeing how they're turning and saying, are you okay? Like, it's a fair point. Just because you're making a sad, depressing game doesn't mean that you are sad and depressed. There's a whole genre of, like, horror and stuff for that, isn't there? I realize that this doesn't make sense to you just yet. Which is fine. You're not my problem to solve. That's very important to know. But I do hope that one day it clicks and that you'll make peace with this thing you are wrestling.
I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself.
You finally see what I'm talking about. Don't say anything.
That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work. Is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything. And so a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please.
Hold on really quickly. This ad break coming up. I need to stop that.
Please. I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in.
Is this room changing shape?
Is something wrong with me? Because I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like, I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again, like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me. Can I apologize?
These doors are getting bigger.
Will that work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just
or am I getting smaller? I'm getting smaller.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. And I want to know I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay.
I'm not entirely sure if this is a real situation now. It might be more of just a narrative story that he's using. But it still kind of hits home of the whole thing of like, there are times when you rely on other people a bit too much for your own happiness, for your own joy. I've seen people do it with streamers as well, where like you kind of thrust happiness onto them.
More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease.
Waiting for them to be the same person. Yeah, this guy definitely needs therapy. Yeah, if he's taken something that someone gave to him saying like, hey, stop showing my shit to people, and then he shows it to as many people as possible to try and get in contact with them, that's fucked up.
Solution.
I definitely stopped watching streamers because they actively make me feel shitty. Yeah,
I guess if someone had told me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate.
Yes.
I wouldn't have told so many people that he was depressed. Maybe he just likes making prisons.
Maybe. Yeah, like, I've seen it being... I'm going to pause here because we've got, like, ads coming up in 2 minutes, and this is a good place to just kind of sit and talk for a bit. I've seen, it probably most recently in, idol culture with things like HoloLive English and whatnot. There's been conflicts, I guess you could say, between the live streamers that they have and the audience because it being idol culture especially, there were a lot of male fans, admittedly, who didn't like the girls interacting with boys. This is just a thing for all streamers as well. Like, there are a lot of female streamers who, if they reveal that they have a boyfriend or guy friends or anything like that, they'll lose a lot of traction. And that's because the audience will come along and be like, well, this isn't the way it should be. That's a similar case of like, well, why are they letting someone else's relationship get in the way of their thoughts, I guess. Like, other people having other friends or other relationships shouldn't affect the way that you view someone. Granted, like, if it is to be a particularly horrible person, then sure. If you found out your favorite streamer was best mates with Adolf Hitler, yes, I think it's very valid to change your opinion of them. But in, like, the same vein, like, you know, what was it? I think it was Ludwig who said something along the lines of, like, earlier in his streaming career, he said to his chat, "I'm here to tell you that I'm not your friend. I am a streamer on the internet, I am not your friend, and I can't be your friend. I can't do that for everyone." He'd later go on to retract that, apparently, and, like, go the other way about it, but there's truth to that. Like, while I think of you all fondly, all of you, there are a select few of you that I know much better than the rest. And there are some of you that I barely know at all. I appreciate you being here, don't get me wrong, and I love you for being here, but I don't know you in a personal way to be able to help you with certain things. And to be able to, like, have a proper friendship. But there are some people who can't register that properly. There are some people who will come into chat. There's been people who come into my chat and will more or less demand attention. The attention of the streamer, or demand my attention, because they need that kind of validation. And that there seems to be similar to what he's going through here, where you're taking someone else's, I guess you could say, work, and making it about you. You know? It's something like... There are a lot of neurodivergent people here. I'm aware of that. I'm probably one myself. But something that a lot of ADHD people do, apparently it is. And a lot of different kinds of people, honestly. A lot of things that they do is to relate to someone, they will tell a little story that relates to what that person goes through, saying like, hey, and the basic gist of it is like, hey, here's an experience that I've had that is similar to yours, and this is my way of communicating to you that I know what that's like, and that sucks, and that I'm here for you. But not everyone views it that way, and I try to be very careful about how I use that. See you soon, Subi. You get to miss out on the heavy stuff. Like, I've told stories to people before. I think I've done it on this very stream where someone will be like, hey, Noodles, like, you know, my dog died, it's super sad, and I would say like, that I'm very sorry to hear that. I've lost many animals myself. I know what it's like. And then sometimes I do my best not to let this happen, but I do my absolute best to make it then not about me, because you know, there are people then who will go like, oh, Noodle, you've lost so many animals, it must suck for you. It's like, but that's taking away from the initial thing that happened, which was someone else's pain. And I've had that happen in real life, but it doesn't always work out the way you would expect. There's a spectrum of friendliness you got to have with people you're actually friends with versus people you would only interact with in certain situations. Yeah. Dunbar's number. Even science proves we have a friend limit. Ooh, what's the number if I can ask? But yeah, like, that being said, with the little, what'd you call it, Tizriz? There are people who, they will relate their stories to people and then keep talking about their own things. And that's the same process being used wrongly. And that's, again, kind of what's happening here. You've taken something else that someone has said and turned it into something about you. And that's something I've never been the biggest fan of. You can relate to someone with a small story and then bring it back to them. You know, I would I do my best to do the thing of like, yes, I've also lost that many pets, this many pets before. I know what it's like to lose a pet. What was their name? How was their final, like, did you have a good time in their final moments? I try to give it back to them by asking them about their story again. And that's a conscious effort I have to do. I don't always do it. I have to intentionally do that. And there are a lot of people who don't. I've had many people who will relate their story to me, or relate to my story with their own story, and then keep on going on about their own stuff. And it's like, well, what happened? Okay, so now we're talking about you. Cool. All right. I've recently just had a friend tell me about something that's happened to him, which is honestly quite fucking terrifying and pretty horrible. And like, he turned around and told me, it's like, you know, because he'd said like, hey, this is happening, and I just said like, fuck, that's what the fuck, that's shit, mate. And he said like, thanks to your concern, everybody else is just kind of being like, about it. And it's just like, with that, like, as humans, we're so quick to latch onto the good things and take them as far as we can because we crave like the good feeling, the dopamine hit, all that lovely stuff. But then when things get rough, it sometimes becomes very easy to just kind of ignore it and not be bothered about it, and just kind of leave it where it was and just wait for something better to come along. I've had many friends tell me before, it's like, Noodle, if you are going through something, you can tell us. I never do, because of that point. It's just kind of easier to let it go. I've changed topics a lot from what we were initially going on. I'm going down a whole thing here. But to wrap that up that little thread, it's basically the case of like, I find it a lot easier to kind of just go, things will be better in the end. It's a lot like the segment earlier with the walls breaking down, where sometimes you have to lie to yourself about things will be better. That's what I end up doing. Plus, I don't want to inconvenience other people with my problems. They always tell me it's not a problem, but I always feel like shit when I do it, so I never do. Say through personal experience is the only form of communication for some. Yeah, like, you know, it works for some people. Understand you saying that the small things are the only things keeping them chugging. Yep. Ooh, and their heads are not doing anything wrong either. Yeah, it's just that some people just, they never relate it back, that's all. One thing I hate is when people dump their problems on other people who just do not have the capacity to deal with it. Yeah. But would you say the words you say to yourself in that moment to someone else? No, I wouldn't. And that's another thing, Wolfie, that's actually a very good point. You get so caught up in telling yourself the little lies, the little white lies, the little harmless lies, that you never consider that you wouldn't do this to other people. I guess we could relate that back to him earlier when he started showing the games to some other people. You know, like, he had a friend who specifically said, I'm making these just because I can. I don't really want to show them to people, but I'll show them to you. And then that person takes them and shows them to as many people as possible. That's broken trust. But he is then convincing himself that because he's getting validation for the other friend, that it's a good thing. He's lying to himself, saying that I am in the right here, I am doing well, because I can't possibly be doing wrong. I try to avoid sharing personal stuff unless I feel it will help the other person with something they're going through. I've opened up to someone once about something, and that person is, depending on how you can put it, really not really my friend anymore. It's just, I think it, like, I just wasn't the person they expected me to be when that came out after that, really. So it was a similar case of, like, you know, they had mentioned that, like, this is a situation for them, and I went, I can relate to that because of these things. I don't know if it came across as that to them, though. So it's alright, but I hope they're doing well. I haven't talked to them in, I don't know, 4 months, and I really don't think I will. But yeah, that's assumed he asked for permission to show it to others first. From the sounds of it, in the way that this story's been told, no, he didn't. And that's the problem. Yeah, I wouldn't talk to him. To a friend with the event, I ask if they need me to listen or to validate. Yeah, like, I've tried to do the practice now of asking people, it's like, is it okay if I vent a little bit? Granted, on stream, I'll just do it, and I really should be more careful of that, but yeah, as much as people are there to help you and to listen to you and to help you talk through things, there's nothing wrong with checking with them first, like, hey, are you in a space where you can listen to my shit? You know? Anyway, we're not even done yet.
Even now, the disease is telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you.
Hey, Rhoda. How are you, mate? I hope you're doing well. Oh. Oh, game's loading. Oh. How are you doing, mate? I hope you're doing well. Thank you for 30 bits. You're at the where you've joined us for the depressing part of the game.
If I knew that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like.
It's actually a very good point. Something that motivates you other than external validation. I say, like, if only we could all be, we go the white colors for the serious thinking. It's one of those things where, like, it's so. I say that we should all be so lucky to find a reason to move forward, to keep going on that isn't based in validation, but that's not luck. I don't know what that is, but it's not luck. Maybe we do need to actually find our motivation. Find a reason for it. I have admittedly spent a lot of time waiting for motivation. Waiting for the thing that gets me to do stuff. What if that doesn't exist? Like many things in life, you probably shouldn't be waiting for them to happen. You really should be making them happen. You know? The question of whether someone needs solutions or someone to listen and sympathize, empathize is honestly highly underrated. Yeah, that's true. Sometimes you just need to get it out, sometimes you actually want to fix it. This mode also looks like the anime character when they're about to chuck up face. A little bit, yeah. The time will pass regardless of your actions. That's... yeah. Yeah. I remember seeing a thing where someone said, like, they were like, you know, late 20s. And they said they didn't want to go out and get a degree because it'd take them so long. And it's like, why not? It's like, it'll take me, the person said, why not? And then they said, it'll take me like 5 years. I'll be like, you know, 33 by the time I get it. And the person just said, sure, yeah, okay. I mean, you're going to be 33 anyway. Why not be 33 and have a degree? And that's sounds like the basis of what you're talking about, Raz. Just like, it's always, the time's always going to happen. Maybe we should really spend it doing something. Very true, sometimes all we need is a listening ear, yeah.
What now? I think I need to go. And I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot that I need to make up for. And so I'm just gonna...
That's my phone going off saying my mum's made it to China, I guess. Surprised you can message me in that case. Hold on, let me just stop that from going off too much. There you go. This is getting me all misty-eyed. It's bringing up questions I've thought before, but I haven't thought about in a long time of... I don't know. Not exactly sure. Or how WhatsApp being on the mainland. Yeah, well, we end up getting something called WeChat because apparently it works similar. Resting is doing something. There's no medals of valor for being locked in 24/7 to the grind. Yeah. That's another thing I need to work on. I don't know how to do nothing. It feels weird. Often I find forcing things leads to burnout too. Yeah. That's for sure. We back in prison? No, this is an elevator. That's why I changed careers, too much burnout. It does have me wondering a little bit about where I currently am. Again, I don't mind the job that I do, but that I currently have at the fish market, but it's the uncertainty of what happens on a day-to-day basis that's starting to mess with me. I still sometimes don't know what my hours are until the day before. Although it should be getting more stable now, but I don't know, I think it's more of a grander scheme thing than that. That in my spare time, do I want to be creating something? Is being a creator really the line for me? Because am I going to be built on things like validation? Am I going to need everyone's approval? Like, ooh. In order to be a creator, you don't need to make something amazing. You just need to make something at all. It doesn't matter whether it's good or bad or anything. I remember seeing something fairly recently that said, just make it now, you can make it better later. You know, like just getting your money supply up and getting a schedule again. Yeah, but like it's not what I was promised, but that's semantics. You didn't get into streaming and content creation to make money or be a celeb. You got into it as a hobby and to have some fun. That's true. But that changes when I go with the angle of like, could I make this a job? And at the moment, I guess the answer would be no. But that's because I'm not putting anything into it, really. We're rising up again. Oh. Fucking maze that we call life. That's our starting point. And who knows where we could end up going.
Turn back from this cave.
For R. I'm gonna guess R is the person who made all the games. This project would not have been possible without the following individuals. I'm currently of the opinion that this is just a narrative structure and that the story that he goes through is not a real one. But it doesn't stop things from hitting all the same. You know? You can be creative as you like it off time, just work to work. Yeah, they say work to live, not live to work, is something that a friend of mine said recently, you know, but that's me if I want to make us good or bad. Well, that's the thing, like, at what point should you worry about that, if at all? I guess. You're still very young, so it's a year or more, it's a non-issue. Yeah, I know. I know I can always bow out, but like, a ton of famous celebs had normal human jobs and were acting as a hobby or side gig into their 40s and 50s. Yeah. I know when I was younger, a lot of people who knew me thought I would actually try and go into acting. And honestly, I don't know why I didn't. I did all the, you know, extracurricular acting classes and all that kind of stuff. If I can toot my own horn, I was one of the better actors at school and for all those kinds of things. My parents even suggested going to NIDA, and they said they'd support me if I did that, but I didn't. My goals had changed at that point, and I don't know why I changed them. You still could if that's what you want. I don't know if that's what I want, though, that's the thing. I really should sit down and think, like, what I actually want for my life. It's a pretty important thing to do. I'd like for content creation to be my job, but like, to be honest, I feel like I don't have any other options at this point because of my health. Catering to other people's schedules in a traditional work environment just isn't possible for me anymore. Yeah, but work to live is very freaking hard in the economic hellscape. Yeah, that's true. I don't know, like, the overall scheme, and this would be the case for everyone. It's like, this isn't... I don't feel like this is just a me thing. Is that we want to be happy. I think that's pretty fair. Be happy. But everyone's going to get to that differently. The main goal, of course, being that we don't want to stomp on others on the way there. We've seen still fairly recent controversies where that happened, where they would, you know, keep down others in order to keep themselves up, and that's horrible. But yeah, no, it's a bit to think about. Apparently this game takes about an hour to an hour and a half, and we took 2.5 hours to go through it. Wait, no, I can go with this now. We took about 2.5 hours to go through it, so go us, guys. Hey. I want to be happy, but I also want to bring happiness to the people I care about. Yeah. That's true, but... I want to be silly on the internet. I'd love that. But I will have to apply myself if I want to be silly on a platform, I guess you could say. Like right now I'm being silly on the internet. I am. Nothing's stopping me. But if I want to be silly in a way that's heard by a larger group of people, that's where all the effort goes into it. Which is interesting, because that's like the complete almost opposite to kind of how this game played out. The guy didn't want anyone to see his work. And here I am wanting a lot of people. The problem's finding the balance between your happiness and theirs. Happiness means different things for others. I work for the next thing I seek to buy or to go to. Yeah. That's fair. Yeah, the idea of a dream job has never been something I can visualize. I've never dreamed of a job, just stability and happiness. I know throughout my life, I've at least had a handful. Because people would ask you when you're a child, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I never really had a clear-cut answer. I remember at some point in time, I did say I wanted to be a dog breeder. I did for a moment say I wanted to be an actor, then I wanted to say I wanted to be an animator. And none of those things have really come to be. But at the same time, how hard have I worked for any of them? If I can be a little bit bitter, I guess, because I think this is something I've mentioned before, but... And this is all from the perspective of a single person. So... One thing that I've learned recently is, well, not recently, but I learned it a while ago, and I'm trying to remind myself of, is that you can't compare yourself to other people. Like, sure, it's easy. Like, you know, oh my god, like, I wish I fucking was as tall as this person. I wish my penis was as big as this person's. I wish I had boobs, that kind of, like, you know, that's whatever it is. But it's more in the way of, like... Excuse me. It's more in the case of, like, you never get to see the bad shit going on in most people's lives. You know? What was it someone put it one day? They said, like, you can't compare your behind the scenes to someone else's highlights reel. If you're looking at, like, you know, I don't know, like the beautiful models on TV, or I guess like the celebrities and whatnot, and you think they've got everything going for them, it's all wonderful. We don't know about their private lives where things could be going to shit. We don't know the pressures that they face every day. You look at someone like, you know, Daniel Radcliffe, I guess you could say, where a lot of people would be saying like, oh, man's got a perfect life, he got to play Harry Potter growing up, he's got more money than he would ever need, he doesn't even need to do anything. But I'm sure that guy's had a lot going on that we just would never be privy to. Same goes for us. I can't compare the worst moments of my life with the average day-to-day moments of someone else's. That's not fair to me. It's not fair to anyone. So, where was I going with this? I had a point. Oh, yes, pessimism. There's a lot of things in my life that have not worked out the way that I wanted them to. And that's why I believe in general I have a bit of a defeatist attitude about things. This is a bit of a privy into my own mentality, which I feel like I've told you guys before, but maybe just it's been a while, not this group of people, chatters specifically. There's like 3 situations, which I won't specifically label off the top of my head, but like 3 different situations where I went, all right, here's something I want to get done. I'm working towards it. And then something actively gets in my way that is out of my control, quotation marks, out of my control, that stops me from being able to do that. So like one good example is I was living in New South Wales with my dad, and I applied for a couple of animator positions, and I didn't hear anything back for like a couple of months. So they told me, hey, how about you go work for your mother at her shop for a couple of months, or for like a couple of weeks, just so you're doing something. And I was like, okay, that sounds like an idea. And I left. And the first week that I was away, I got a job offer. But they wanted me to send examples of my work, which I did not have because it was back in New South Wales. So I didn't get the job. And it's very demoralizing to think like if I just waited longer, then things could have been different. But none of that was my fault. Technically. None of that was anyone's fault. It's just an unfortunate situation of timing. But it does feel like that happens a lot. But the only reason I feel like it happens a lot is because I remember every situation where that happens. There's been a lot of times as well where things have worked out beautifully for me. But I don't remember those. Because the feeling wasn't as intense, I guess I could say. So yeah, you just gotta remember that, like, you tend to dwell on the bad things, but there are good things that happen. So I've got to try and focus more on those. Or at least focus less on the bad things. But no, like, getting away from the point of what this game is about, of just kind of make things. You shouldn't need to rely on other people's validation, because that's going to cause a spiral. Or at the very least, not have other people's validation be your only source of interest. Don't let other people's opinions on your work influence what you do and how you make it, I guess. You know, see the sitting in the gym for 16 hours in a day, never eating anything. He got to be Weird Al in the biopic. Oh yeah, that would have been fun for him. Comes Akimbo. Can't focus on that. He'll be sleeping on Swiss Army Man. I hear Swiss Army Man's actually a pretty good movie. Happens to everyone. All we can do is lie awake at night, unable to sleep, trying not to focus on all the decisions we made when we were younger. Maybe things would have gone different, but it doesn't mean anything would have changed for the better necessarily. It's very true. Hey, it's entirely possible things would have worked out the exact same as well. But yeah, like, sorry to go on like a little bit of a sadness tangent of my own, but it's the only way, as we said before, that we can I can relate to people with it, being like, hey, here's as specific an example I can give from my own life. But yeah, it's the beginner's guide. I am glad that I played this. I don't know if I would have been able to I guess, consider it as well if you guys weren't here. Having you guys to bounce ideas back and forth between, you know, getting a conversation started, getting a repertoire back and forth, it goes a lot to helping understand different people's opinions about these kinds of games. So, yeah. Thank you for being here. I really do mean that. I'll try and take what I've seen here to, not to motivate me. Not to give me a machine to work with, but more of a, food for thought. Something to question. Okay. But let's find somewhere to send you guys. Okay. My face is all hot and flushed at the moment. Oh, there's no music now. Yeah, perfectly fine, Neil. You're human like the rest of us. I know, but it does feel a little strange, like me being on a platform that's used to entertain and be talking about this kind of stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, people stream all sorts of stuff, not just games on here, and anything is content. But yeah, it's just a strange feeling to, you know, kind of come out here and be like, here's like a bunch of problems that I have. Don't know shit, sorry. No. Don't worry about that. Oh, you're only half human. Okay, because I'm a chicken man. Right. Yes. Get into character. Doodle. Yes, we're chicken man. You gotta focus less on the weird stuff. Like, I always look at it and I think it's a little funny myself. I think in the past 2 days I've lost about 5 followers. And again, that's fine. Like, these are people who haven't been here a long time. The number of 2.5 or 2,454 followers at the moment, that's basically an inflated number because it's only ever really you guys here every time. The same 10 to 15 people every stream. And you're the ones who really matter the most. Misidentified the chimkin. It's your stream, you can do whatever you like, we're here for you. Thank you. There's a guy who dresses as a frog in Office Free Therapy. I think I've seen that one. I think I've seen a little bit about what he's about. Walrus has been live for 5 hours. I think I might throw you to Walrus. We don't get to raid Walrus too often. Yeah, can't rid of me that easily. No, I've noticed you are like a bug, notoriously difficult to get rid of. You're way overdone by number. Time to cut some bitches loose. Yeah, like, it doesn't matter if we lose a few people, honestly. We've seen each other's faces. We're not bound for eternity. Yeah, not getting rid of anyone. All right. Well, there's your messages. Oh, sorry. Raid messages. Use the ones that are appropriate to you. I don't know if I'll be streaming tomorrow, I'll be honest. I'd like to, but we'll see how much better I feel. And we might actually play some Digimon tomorrow. Because admittedly, I'm realizing a bit late that the talking is hurting my throat. Not in like a bad way, but like in a way that I'm recognizing I shouldn't be talking as much. At the very least though, Ender on Friday will be having a 1,000 followers celebration stream. I will probably be there for a bit. I can't promise the whole time, but I will probably be there for a good amount of time, as well as a bunch of other friends as well, so I probably won't be streaming on Friday. But hopefully on Saturday I will come back with more Expedition 33. We'll see. Anyway, thank you guys all for being here. I do love you guys. You're great. Not like in a... what's the word? Weird way. Alright, bye-bye guys. What's it called? Parasocial way, that's what it's called. But you VOD people, you're beautiful. Thank you so much for being here as well. I will see you all next time, okay? Yeah. Bye-bye.